Combine and convert 3D objects. Combine and convert 3D objects. How to combine and convert 3D objects? Combine 3D objects, by the way, merging 3D layers allows you to combine multiple 3D models in one scan. And once combined, each 3D model, by the way, can be manipulated separately, or you can use position and camera tools on all models simultaneously. And we have steps here now. Step number 1. You should open two documents, windows each containing a 3D layer, by the way. Number 2, you should make the source document and the file from which you are copying the 3D layer active. And step number 3, you should select the 3D layer in the layers panel and drag it into the window of the target document and the file which will contain the combined 3D objects. And the 3D layer is added, by the way, as a new 3D layer in the target document. And it becomes the active layer, by the way, in the layers panel of the target document. Step number 4, in the tools panel, you should select the 3D camera tool. Step number 5, in the options bar from the position menu, you should select the layer name for the original 3D layer in the target file. And by the way, after you match the camera position of the two 3D layers, the two 3D objects, by the way, appear together in the scan. And you can use the 3D objects tool to reposition the objects before merging, by the way. Step number 6, from the layers panel options menu, you should choose merge down, and the two 3D layers are combined, by the way, into one 3D layer only, and the point of origin of each model is aligned, and not here in this point, and be careful please here now. Depending on the size of each 3D model, one model may appear partially or completely embedded in the other model after merging 3D layers, by the way. And after merging two 3D models, all meshes, by the way, and the materials from each 3D file are contained in the target file and appear in the 3D panel. And in the meshes panel, you can select, by the way, and reposition individual meshes using the 3D position tools in the panel. And by the way, to alternate between moving all models at once and moving individual models in the layer, switch between the 3D position tools in the tools panel and the tools in the meshes panel. And how to combine 3D and 2D layers. How to combine 3D and 2D layers, by the way. And by the way, you can combine 3D layers with one or more 2D layers to create composite effects. For example, you can place, by the way, a model against a background image and change its position or viewing angle to match the background. And you should do one of the following. With the 2D file open, then choose 3D. Then select new layer from 3D file and open a 3D file. And after that, with both a 2D file and a 3D file open, and drag either the 2D or 3D layer from one file into the open document window of the other file, by the way. And the layer you add moves to the top of the layers panel. And by the way, when working in a file with combined 2D and 3D layers, you can temporarily hide the 2D layers while working with the 3D layer, by the way. And how to hide layers for better performance. How to hide layers for better performance. By the way, in a multi-layer document with 2D layers above a 3D layers, you can temporarily move the 3D layer to the top of the layered stack for faster screen rendering. We have two steps only. The first step here now, you should choose 3D, then auto hide layers for performance. And step number 2, you should select a 3D position or camera tool. And by the way, when you hold down the mouse button with either tool, all 2D layers, by the way, are temporarily hidden. And when you release the mouse, all 2D layers reappear. And moving any part of the 3D axis also hides all 2D layers, by the way. And how to convert a 3D layer to a 2D layer. How to convert 3D layer to 2D layer. By the way, converting a 3D layer to a 2D layer rasterizes the 3D content in the current state and convert a 3D layer to a regular layer only if you no longer want to edit the 3D model position. And render mode and textures on lights, and the rasterized image retains, by the way, the appearance of the 3D scan, but in a flattened 2D format. And also you should select the 3D layer in the layers panel and then choose 3D, then select rasterize. How to convert a 3D layer to a smart object. How to convert a 3D layer to a smart object? By the way, converting a 3D layer to a smart object allows you to retain the 3D information contained in a 3D layer, by the way. And after converting, you can apply transforms or other adjustments like smart filters to the smart object. And also you can reopen the smart objects layer to edit the original 3D scan. And by the way, any transforms or adjustments applied to the smart object are then applied to the updated 3D content. We have steps here now. Step number 1. You should select the 3D layer firstly in the layers panel. And step number 2. From the layers panel options menu, you should choose convert to smart object. Step number 3. Optional. To re-edit the 3D content, double click the smart object layer in the layers panel.